Did it really happen? Did it really happen? 61 yards. Let me slam myself back into reality. Did it really happen? Philly 500, did it happen?
I think so. I think so. I think it happened. I think it happened. It happened. It's real. It happened. 61-yard field goal. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. By Jake the Snake Elliott. Yes. Jake the Snake, baby.
Jake from State Farm.
That's right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right. So I know you did a live stream. So I know where you were when he kicked the 61-yard field goal.
Yes. I was not expecting that on my live stream.
I'm trying to figure out the last time I felt something like that. Just that rush of adrenaline. No, I haven't felt that since, God, who knows?
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. I think maybe the Steelers last year, week 3, was like the peak of that because that was like unbelievable. You know what I mean? When they demolished Pittsburgh on week 3, who always loses week 3 apparently because they lost to Chicago. Yeah. But who knew at the time?
The Snowball game was awesome. That was really fun. But man, dude, like 61 yards. We felt the opposite side of it back in 2006. You remember that? Matt Bryant? We felt the opposite effect.
Yeah, we know that side. You talking about the Tampa Bay game when the guy kicked the record field goal on us? Yeah, we know that. But when it comes to the Giants, we own the Giants. This is just facts of life, and we own them. And once again, we have beaten them. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah. Do you know why we won this game? Because Ben McAdoo stinks.
He does. He does stink. Ben McAdoo, Chip McAdoo. And I don't know. He had the most ridiculous. I sent it to you. I don't even know what it said or what it meant. Why are my sunglasses on? You dingbat. I don't even know what he said, but it was so ridiculous. This guy is a moron. This guy is worse than what we thought we had. This guy is ridiculous. I feel bad for Giant fans. I really don't. I actually want them to sign him to an extension, but he's a moron.
All right, Billy, I don't know what happened to your camera. Unfortunately, you're coming in all black right now. So I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
I'm going to keep talking. We'll see if you come back. If it's necessary, maybe we'll have you get out of the show and I'll re-invite you back in. But
what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You're all black. You're all black.
I see. I'm black now.
Yeah, you're all black.
Let me go here.
Unfortunately. You're all black.
How about now?
Donald Trump will call you a son of a bitch. All right, there you go. You're back.
Am I back?
You're back.
Holy crap.
That was weird.
Where was I?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think the aliens took me. Conspiracy stuff.
Did you try to kneel during the national anthem?
I did. But I took a nap. I don't know. What the hell happened? Yeah, that's weird. Oh, but I'm back though, right?
Yeah, you're good. All right, so let's get into Ben McAdoo. Because Ben McAdoo is just god-awful. He makes Doug Pederson look like Bill Walsh. Around the goal line, you have 3rd and goal. You call it fade route. Just despicable. And he's complaining after the game. Yeah, you sent me that text. He's complaining after the game that the Giants were robbed. They were robbed. They should have lost by 10-plus points. They were beaten yesterday.
Yeah, that game was over. That game should have been over at halftime. The Eagles owned them in every way possible. The biggest problem was that, let's face it, let's be honest, our coach kept giving them outs and ways back in. And that was, to me, the biggest problem. But this guy is a dingbat. There's no question about it. And I would really, he looks like Chip Kelly with a mustache, with his hair slicked back. That's what he is, Chip McAdoo. I can't stand that guy. I got to be honest. He gets on my nerves. He irritates me. You know what I mean? He's just one of those guys.
It's the way he looks. I didn't feel that hatred toward him last year, but now with the stupid hair and the glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been in New York for 1 year. He thinks he's the big Mahoff. Yeah, totally. You know?
Yeah. He looks like a bag of sour cream and onion chips. I said it the other day.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Big bowl of sour cream. All right, so I want to get into the running game. So I did some charting. I watched the game over again. So here's what I got. So 33 design runs for the running backs, 171 yards, 5.18 yards per carry. On runs out of the shotgun, 16 carries for 80 yards. Under center, 17 carries for 91 yards. So, as you can see, running under shotgun, just almost as effective as running under center. When you break it up individually, Wendell Smallwood, 12 carries, 71 yards. LeGarrette Blount, 12 carries for 67 yards. So, pretty even distribution there, obviously. Something I noticed during this game that no beat reporter has said. I can't believe I'm the first one that's seen this. I'm sure somebody else has seen this. I know I'm not the smartest in Philadelphia. So, the Eagles, as I suggested last week, pulled the Patriots method. They went and swapped left guards in and out during the game. So you start out with Chance Warmack. Basically, whenever LeGarrette Blount was in the game and they were running the ball up the middle, Chance Warmack was your left guard. When they started pulling and getting Smallwood and Clement involved, Stefan Wisniewski was your guard because he's more athletic. He can pull and get to the second level. That's what he does best. So a lot more whiz in the second half. And that's why I think we saw less of Blount, because we saw less of Warmack. So Warmack did actually come back in at one point during the game. So Wiz didn't replace them. They were coming back in and out. They were playing musical chairs. The Eagles don't have a starter at left guard. They have co-starters.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting, and I didn't notice, and that makes you a genius, right? You're a genius, bitter dingbat. You're a genius.
I'm a genius and a dingbat at the same time.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. But the thing is what I want to know is how long could they possibly do that? Now, I'm going to go back and watch that because I did not pick up on that. So that is very, very, very good eye view to actually pick up on that. And I wonder how quick, let's say, the Chargers or any other defensive coordinator would pick up on that. But, I mean, look, it worked for them yesterday, and I was wondering why it seemed that when the second half began and Blount was running, I really thought he was, like, wearing the Giants out. Then all of a sudden it just stopped, and they kind of got away from him for a little bit. And so that makes sense on why and what happened. So it's very interesting.
And you brought up the fact yesterday. You were like, yeah, Doug Pederson follows a script. And there you go. He's definitely following a script because the feel of the game was LeGarrette Blount was dominating up the middle, and they should have just kept going to him. And I got my hieroglyphics here that nobody can read. I got my notes on the game, my plus minus stuff. Let's see if I can find where it is. So, you know what? You talk for a little bit, and I'll see if I can find.
What's up, everybody? Doing? So, what I want to say is, I hope everybody having a great day. I hope you had coffee in the morning. I hope you have donuts in the morning. I hope you have whatever you want. Now, the Eagles got to go to San Diego, or not San Diego, Los Angeles. My gosh, it's so weird to say the Los Angeles Chargers. That is going to take me a while. But if they can win this game, against the Chargers, I think they can come home and bang out the Arizona Cardinals. They do that, we got something there. Because I think they just buried the New York Giants. I think the Giants are in the gutter. Now, there's some delusional Giant fans who think that they're going to make a run at 0-3, which is very funny to me. And I'll take that bet with any Giant fan that wants to say that they're going to win the division or even make the playoffs. They got no shot. If I was a Giant fan, I would be worried about getting a franchise quarterback. I would be ready to tank. So the Eagles got to go in and they got to beat the Chargers. My biggest fear going into this game this week is that the Eagles have a letdown. Such an emotional win with the Eagles beating the Giants. The way they beat them, is the perfect scenario for a team to have a letdown, especially a young team. So I'm hoping that we'll see the Eagles take this game seriously, go in there, whip up on the Chargers, who are 0-3 themselves. So that's a desperate team for a win. And I do not want to be the first team that the Chargers beat at all. So the Eagles got to be ready to go. And if they can do that, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Then they can come back. They can throw Carson Palmer beaten because he needs a beating. I hate the Cardinals because they always seem to beat us. So you ready? I'll just
yeah. That was great. That was phenomenal. Yeah, there were just a couple plays here where I'm looking at because Clement had back-to-back carries where you had a nice run and then you had the pitch to the outside where he lost 4 yards. And then it's third down. You don't convert the third down, and you punt. And then there was another instance where Smallwood got back-to-back carries, didn't get much, and then they had to punt again. So, yeah, there you go. So you had Blunt dominating. This is what I wrote down. Blunt was dominating, and Clement and Smallwood get the carries, ? And then the next drive was the same thing. So they're following some type of script where they're trying to remain unpredictable, I guess, and trying to do different things with different looks, running to the outside, running to the inside. I mean, you literally had an even distribution of carries between Blunt and Smallwood, and you had basically an even distribution of shotgun and under center runs.
Right.
So, it's crazy.
It is, and I remember now. You maybe you can tell me. Clement got his first carry like in the fourth quarter, right? Late, because he almost fumbled the one pitch out to him.
Yeah, that's why I was pissed because I was like, why is he in the game? He's undrafted. Yeah. This is like the first time you're in the game, and it's in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he brings guys in cold in the fourth quarter. This happened with Smallwood last year, who fumbled, if you remember. But yeah, I mean, my big thing with Doug Pederson is he doesn't seem to have a feel for what's going on at the moment. I mean, me and you were texting back and forth on that 4th and 8. We were texting, and we're like, what is he doing? You had no feeling that was the right play. The best play was the punt, pin him in. And I think he just sticks to this script. And that may be a good thing in a way because if he fixes it, maybe he won't be too bad. But he doesn't seem to have instincts or a feel for the game because he's only following that script.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the 4th and 8 call, it's like some people have told me that Blunt would have gotten a first down. He probably would have stopped short of the first down. But I will look at that play more in-depthly on tape for a film study with Brennan and I tomorrow.
Are you saying if they ran him on 4th and 8?
That he was like he came out of the backfield.
Oh.
So he spotted up maybe a couple yards shy of the stick, so he would have had to turn and run. Mm-hmm. But it looked like there were going to be 2 Giants that would have tackled him.
Yeah.
So I think he would have been shy.
And that's what you talk about, like momentum. The Eagles had all the momentum at that point. No need to go for it on 4th and 8. If Doug has a feel for that game, he punts that ball. Instead, the Giants go down and they're about to score. They could have took all the momentum if it wasn't for the most dingbat other coach ever to exist in football, to actually go down there and then try to go for it on 4th down. Not that 4th down was a problem, but the play he ran, the Eagles were going to sell out. Everybody knew they were going to sell out up the middle like that. And they did, and he ran it anyways. I mean, I thought it was an idiot play call that let Doug Pederson off the hook. Really, he let him off the hook.
You had a battle of dumb and dumber. A battle of Dingbats. Battle of Dingbats going at it. That's what it was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, battle of Dingbats. I mean, just when you thought he couldn't get any dumber, he goes and does something like this and totally redeems himself, as the movie said. That was perfectly what happened.
Yeah. I know people have been pissed about my supposed hatred for Doug Pederson. I don't hate Doug Pederson. I just tell the truth and I say what I see. If he does good things, I will say it. So, keep that in mind, people.
Yeah. I mean, look, we all want him to be successful. I want him to be successful, but you gotta be honest when you see something, because people come to your show, they watch you, they want to hear what you say. You need to tell them the truth. So if you feel that way, you should tell them. Definitely. Don't, that's just the way it is. Look, I think maybe there's hope for Doug Pederson in one way, because if he is just following his chart and he puts that down and starts playing on what's going on, having a feel for the game, maybe he'll do okay. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll do better. That's my hope right now. But I definitely think he's sticking to the script too much. I mean, most teams have 15 plays are scripted, and then after that, they kind of feel it out. I think he's got the whole thing scripted.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, it does. Insanity. You got to have a feel for the game. If something works, you don't go away from it. I mean, I literally watched the Rams, or the Redskins, when they played the Rams. They ran the same play over and over again, same running play, over and over again for maybe 2 quarters, until the Rams finally found it out, and they had a counter to it.
Yeah.
And it was like the little outside zone play, the outside the tackles. And they just kept routinely getting big chunks on this play. And Jay Gruden, as a smart coach would do, as self-explanatory, you keep running the damn thing until you can stop it.
Yeah, I agree. And I felt like coming out of that second half in the third quarter, if they would have just kept running blunt, I think that defense was so tired. He was starting to run through guys. He was starting to pick up chunks. And I thought they had the Giants on the ropes, and then they kind of got away from it. And it got to be a close game. I got more nervous about the Giants being up, and we were talking about this. More nervous about them being down 14-0 than down 7. Because that's when Eli's going to just go out and start throwing. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Now, what do you have to say about this thing? So, do you think that they would have won this game if it was last year?
Absolutely not. No, I don't think they would have won this game last year. There's no reason to think they couldn't win any close games last year at all. I don't think they would have won last year. I'd say no.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100% agree. There's no way. There's no way they would have had the resiliency to bounce back the way they did. I mean, that's a shot right to your heart, man. 14-0, and it's 21-14, just like that. And then they go and drive right down the field, and then they go back and forth on the field goals, and obviously big time plays at the end. That's another thing that Brennan and I will get into tomorrow. Is it possible to complete a 19-yard out route in 6 seconds or less?
That's a good question, because I would have said no, but it did. It happened. You had both Giants fell. I mean, it was a nice pass. It was right where it had to be. I think this team takes after the personality of Carson Wentz. I get that sense that he's kind of cool and collective, and he didn't panic. Yeah, they were helped out with that pass interference, but you had to take a shot to even get that to be called. So I like that part of the Eagles team now, and I credit that to him. You know what I mean? I do.
Yeah, dude. Clutch throws when it mattered. I mean, because it wasn't his best game. Quite frankly, he wasn't that good yesterday. Missed the wide open deep ball, left sideline to Jeffrey. So got to work on the deep ball accuracy. But when it came down to it, when he needed to make plays, he did. He's been doing that recently. Yeah,
that's what you want. And really, he started doing that. The Baltimore game, I thought that last drive last year against Baltimore was a big deal for him. It was a big deal. That's why I didn't want them to go for the 2-point conversion at the time, because I wanted him to come off the field having tied it instead of thinking about missing that 2-point. But it didn't seem to bother him. I think that Baltimore drive showed me a lot about him, and I think from that point, I think he started playing better, and I think you see that now. It wasn't his best game yesterday. Definitely not. But he still does enough. He still improvs enough. He still can make something out of nothing. Like very Randall Cunningham-ish in a lot of ways. on big moments, like in big downs. Now he missed. If he would have hit Jeffrey like on that bomb, this would have been blowout. There's a couple throws if he makes this game's not even close. So he needs to work on it. But I'm not panicking about him. Not a guy that is in his second year, in week 3 of his second year. I'm not going to be worried about every mistake he makes. He has to learn.
Yeah, there's going to be mistakes and mechanical flaws, and this is something I've talked about during the summer and leading up to the season. This shit's going to happen, and when it happens, you just relax and stay patient, and things will get fixed. These are growing pains, but that is a throw that he should make, obviously. Yeah. Gosh, what did I want to talk about? Gosh. Doug Pederson, gosh. There was something epic I wanted to talk about, and I forgot. I guess we'll talk about Michael Kendricks then.
Okay.
Michael Kendricks, trade rumors, actually, I shouldn't say trade rumors, trade speculation last week. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated suggesting that Michael Kendricks might get traded to the Patriots because they might want to move on from Malcolm Butler. My question to you is, Michael Kendricks playing really well right now. Should the Eagles use him as a trade chip?
For the right person, I would say yes. For the right price, for the right player, I would do it. Yes, I would definitely do it. But it has to be the right price because you have a very thin linebacking core. So if you lose him, you have to be sure you're getting something that you're going to use. So yes. So depending on who, I think I would definitely trade him.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now people didn't agree with me during my show. I understand. I get it. I expected a lot of people to not agree with me. But yesterday was kind of a perfect illustration of kind of what my argument is. I don't think at the end of the day that the Eagles cornerbacks are good enough against great competition at wideout. So when you have a game like yesterday, when your defensive line and your front seven isn't able to pressure the quarterback, your cornerbacks are going to have to be able to stand up and hold up. And against a guy like Odell Beckham, going against an average corner like Jalen Mills, we saw what happened. Mincemeat. Sterling Shepard had a big game. First 2 weeks, Eagles really didn't have to play, Tyreek Hill? Okay, he's good, but he's not Odell Beckham. He's not great.
Yeah.
Week 1, Terrell Pryor, okay, well, he's good. He's not great. He's not elite. And think about all the great teams in the NFC. Atlanta, Julio Jones, Green Bay, Jordy Nelson. Even Seattle, you got Doug Baldwin. You got all these great receivers that you got to deal with. And it's not only just one great receiver. You got multiple receivers on these teams. So I think it's important to have a lot of depth at cornerback. And it's also a position where you get injured more than any position in the league. And I also don't believe that Butler all of a sudden got bad. I think this is a situation just like last year with Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins' play took a dip because of his contract situation. And then they traded him, and he started playing well again. So I think the same situation would happen here with Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler is a really good football player. But Michael Kendricks has had a really, really great 2 games. Well, his strengths are being highlighted. He's only playing 37% of the time. If he was playing all the time, he'd be asked to play a lot more coverage. And we'd see his weaknesses be exploited. And all of a sudden, people would probably want to trade him because they'd see the mistakes. They'd be shown. But because he's showing the positive things, what he can do well, the blitzing, going sideline to sideline, making tackles, he looks great.
Well, I definitely would trade Kendricks for the right price. Now, I
know who you would trade him for.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Shady McCoy, yes. But I wouldn't trade him for Malcolm Butler. I take the different approach with the Butler thing. Not that he's not a great corner. But when you look at what the Eagles invested in cornerbacks, 2nd round with Sidney Jones, 3rd round Douglas, Matthews and a 3rd round for Darby, and you have these guys and they have to play and gel. Bringing Butler in right now for 1 year, it'd only be for 13 games now. So you're not even bringing him in for 2 years. If you told me he's there for 2 years, I would say maybe I would do it. But for 1 year, I would rather let the guys make the mistakes, have the weaknesses this year. Because as we talked about, in a couple years from now, the Eagles may be in a situation where they have Jones and Darby, and they're in a playoff game, and one of them gets hurt for the game. Now you have Mills and Douglas, who have had experience playing that can come in and fill in a role and get the job done. I think that the experience that those guys are getting right now is so valuable to this team down the road that I think bringing in Butler would only stunt that growth. As much as I think he is a good player, I think that for 1 year, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I definitely hear that side of the argument. I mean, I agree with that. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I feel like it's so important to get to the playoffs this year. And it's all because of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz needs playoff experience. I think it's really important to get into the postseason. So, like, a normal situation, I'd probably agree with you. Yeah, like, you know, let the young guys develop, you know, keep growing your team, keep growing your corners. But I'm looking at this situation like a little bit differently. And I think there is a weakness at corner that if this situation presents itself, I would pull the trigger, even if it would take a lot of balls to pull on that trigger. It would. I mean, that's a tough decision to make. I mean, you got to have the cornerback come in here. He's got to learn the entire playbook, the entire defense. So even if he comes in here, he's not going to be ready right away. He's going to take him 2 to 3 games to get acclimated. So it's like it's kind of an asinine trade to make, but it's one that, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with either. If you have Ronald Darby and Malcolm Butler as your corners, I still think Rasul Douglas would get snaps. I don't think this would hurt Sidney Jones, obviously. Jalen Mills, it is what it is, and you know, Patrick Robinson would just stop playing for me. So that's how I would see it.
Yeah, no, I understand the importance of getting Carson Wentz playoff experience, especially in his second year. There's a big deal. But like I said, at the same time, we're talking about a guy that's got to come in, got to get ready, learn the playbook, and then he may be gone at the end of the year. I can't separate him leaving at the end of the year from it. That's my biggest hang up on it.
And I wouldn't even extend him. I wouldn't even sign him. Like, that's the thing. Like, I would just let him walk because you got to re-sign other guys. Right. So I would re-sign like Timmy Jernigan and Alshon Jeffrey, and I would just wait until Darby's up to re-sign him, and that's the corner I'd sign. Yeah. So you're
giving Kendricks away for nothing after 1 year. I mean, it's pretty much a rental. I understand the point. I do. Definitely. I mean, Kendricks holds some value right now because of the way he's playing. So if you can better your team, I think you have to better your team. But like I said, when it comes to the corners, I'm okay with them playing, making the mistakes, and going from there. I still think we can make the playoffs when Darby comes back, and with the way they're playing now, I think we can make it anyway. So,
yeah. All right, it's time to get to our segments. Dingbat of the week. Who you got?
My Dingbat of the week just won it in the last second. Like, he won it at the last day he could win it. And that's Chip McAdoo, because of a guy to coach the way he did with the Giants. After calling out his quarterback the week before, who played actually pretty good, okay? He actually stunk it up himself yesterday, this coach. And I just couldn't believe he let the Eagles off the hook so much. He's my Dingbat of the week.
Okay. Now, I normally want to stay away from the political side, but I'm not going to take a political angle here. Dingbat of the week. The President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. What a dingbat. Oh, I'm not going to get into what he said. We all know what he said. But the reason why he's a dingbat. Now, I know you believe in conspiracy theories at Philly 500. I think there is jealousy. There is jealousy of Donald Trump because he wanted to own an NFL team in the 1980s. And guess what he did? Well, he went and got a team in the USFL because that was the only football team he could own. And then they did all that bullshit where the shit in court because Donald Trump, he wanted to merge into the NFL because he wanted his own NFL team. He never was able to get his own NFL team. And I think he's been bitter about that. He's been waiting for his opportunity to get back at the NFL. And now look, he is more worried about the NFL and players not standing up for the anthem than the people in Puerto Rico right now. That is Dingbatish.
That is Dingbatish, definitely.
Dingbat. All right, so let's talk about the rest of the all-stink team. Who else made the list?
Who makes the list of the all-stink team? It's a good question. Huh? Yeah, I got to think about it. I think the Raiders definitely deserve to be an all-stink team after last night. I mean, maybe just for a week, but they should not have lost to the Redskins the way that they did. That really, really bothered me. I thought the referees in that Detroit game, I thought that was a horrible call at the end. I got to tell you. I know that whatever the rules are, I thought that was bad. I thought Detroit got robbed.
I'm trying to think who was on. I should have done some research before this. I mean, you could definitely say Ben McAdoo. I mean, like it was just the text back and forth between you and I were just hilarious. We're like, so what's this dope gonna do to outdo this dope? Like They were out doping each other out there.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben McAdoo, the third and goal. That just I don't understand why in today's NFL why you would call a fade pass. I don't know. But he makes the all stink team. Yeah. You got anyone else?
No, not off the top of my head. I can't think of any, but I do think, and I am confident that there's going to be a Dallas Cowboy tonight that should have joined the all stink team. So we're going to leave a roster spot open for that Cowboy, whoever it is, we're going to leave a roster spot for him because they're going to enter it tonight.
I guess. I mean, I guess you could say Doug Pederson makes the all-stink team again.
All right, hey, I'll put him on there. For that 4th and 8 was very Dingbatish.
Like, EDP made the joke about his dead mother being able to know, not to go for a 4th and 8. There's something I was about to say, but I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I was just going to say an 8-year-old with Down syndrome would know not to go for 4th and 8.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of fucked up to say. Sorry about that. But dude, it's just retarded. But the 4th and 1s though, I will give him credit there. I like that he's aggressive on the 4th and 1s, and by God, thank you for just going up the middle with a sneak. Chip Kelly refused to sneak here in Philadelphia, and then Carson Wentz came into town, and his first year, Doug Pederson didn't sneak with him. And now finally, 2 4th and 1s using your big quarterback.
You got a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback. It's a smart move. It's an easy move, and I'm glad that he did it too. I don't mind the 4th and 1s. I don't mind those things, but the 4th and 8 in certain games when momentum's on your side, you got to know when to do it and when not to do it. You know what I mean? So for me, I really that play really irks me, and the Ertz fumble really irks me too, because I thought when Ertz fumbled that the game was over. I thought we were going to lose at that point.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that was disappointing. Ertz's game yesterday, because he started to prove some people wrong. Now he's like resorting back to old tactics, so hopefully he can bounce back again for next week. Yeah. What made you bitter this week? I don't know if I got one for that. We might have to get rid of that segment because this is all just the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm a pretty happy guy.
I'll tell you what made me happy. Jake Kelly.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. I do want to make an announcement that I didn't talk to you about, but I forgot to tell you about this earlier. I need to announce my Cane of the Week winner, which I didn't do a video on, so I'm going to announce it here on the Bitter Dingbats. Week 3, the winner of the Cane, the Battle of the Canes, goes to Brandon Marshall, who stunk yesterday. He stinks. He's old. Get him a wheelchair. I didn't do a video on it, so I wanted to announce it here. He wins Week 3 Battle of the Canes. Eli played too good, actually, to give him the game.
By the way, to go back to the 4th and 8 thing, so Pro Football Reference says 18% chance of converting a 4th and 8. Doug Pederson at his press conference today said 33%. I'm like confused.
Yeah, I would. 33% seems really high for a 4th and 8. It just does. And a lot of teams, take that as like you're disrespectful. Like you don't respect their team. So I don't know. I think there was no reason to do that at that point. You weren't down a score. You had all the momentum. He says he trusted his defense. Well, if you trust your defense in that position, why not trust them with Giants pinned back inside the 10 or inside the 20? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I remember what I wanted to talk about earlier. I wanted to talk about Jim Schwartz because I'm not going to let him escape my wrath either.
Head coach Jim Schwartz?
What?
I said head coach Jim Schwartz by accident.
Well, we've been saying so much negative stuff about Doug Pederson. Well, Jim Schwartz deserves some blame too. Now, granted, a lot of guys were out, like Cox, Hicks, safeties, yada, yada, yada. But we're still seeing a formula where if we can't pressure the quarterback, our defense gets picked apart.
Yeah.
And Jim Schwartz has not been able to fix this yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that they should have sent some blitzes in the second half. At least something up the A gap or something, those kind of things, because you weren't getting any pressure, and it wasn't like you were stopping him on the slant routes or you were stopping some of that stuff. They had it all day long. So you might as well bring some pressure. I wish he would back off sometimes and just send the pressure. Look what he did when he blitzed Redskins. And he blitzed, I think they blitzed Kansas City with like Kendricks a couple times too.
Yeah.
And he had a sack. I thought that they should have brought it a little bit in the second half to change it up.
It's that, and it's like, okay, you rush 4 and you drop back 7. So his zones were so soft. It was soft in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. They're like a cookie. Like a cookie.
Like a
soft cookie under the camera.
Best, I bet you don't have a cookie under there.
I don't. I ate it. What do you think happened when the screen went black? Eating cookies.
Speaking of screens, guess what Doug Pederson did on a 3rd and 6 yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Guess what? They didn't get a first down.
Of course not. I would like to know the percentage of first downs on screens. I bet you it's like 0.0000001% for him. It's a horror. I hate that play call. But I'm going to bet you this. I'm going to bet you he pulled this chart out and said, I haven't run this, or I haven't run enough of these today. I got to go run my screen. And he did it. I believe that to a T.
Yeah. But yeah, Jim, we saw this near the end of the season. It's the same coverage bullshit. Soft zone coverage. When teams are getting the ball out quick, it's a soft zone coverage. We saw all last season. We saw it again yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a trend. This is becoming a trend. This isn't good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on it 100%. He deserves criticism for it. He definitely does.
Yeah. All right. That might be it. But then again, we've gone like 40 minutes, I'm sure. So. Oh yeah,
we lose track of time a lot of time when we just talk.
Yeah. Well, we were talking like 40 minutes before the show. All of our viewers had to wait as we acted like dingbats.
We should just hit it live and just talk.
We should have just went. Yeah, it's what we should have done.
Yeah, I wanna do some of those things where you're talking about the video clip with the play calls. What I forget, Zoomio or something. Yeah. That would be cool because there's definitely things that I would like to talk about specifically.
We could do that. We could set up a little Zoom conference and get into some things for sure.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything, but I'm pretty sure we covered everything in this video. So
it's time to watch the Dallas Cowboys get their butts kicked, right? I mean that's what it comes.
You got to watch out though, man. If you pick the Cowboys, you lose subscribers.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did and did. I did and did. That happened.
Yeah. I think it's funny when people are like, "Oh, you just lost a subscriber." Oh,
I know.
Oh, shucks. I went from 2040 to 2039. Oh well. God, do you think you're really fucking important? Hate when people do that shit, man.
Yeah, they try to use it on you. Try to use it against you. So I just ignore it. I try to ignore it. Just try to be happy. If they're Dingbat and they set off the Dingbat emergency broadcast system, the alarms go off. I put them in the corner, give them a diaper, give them a bottle, and let them cry like babies. That's what I do. But you've got to speak your mind. You got to speak. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah. If I'm gonna come on and pick Dallas to lose every week, what's the point of doing picks? I don't understand it.
I'm gonna lose. I'm going to lose subs this week because I'm going to pick the Chargers to beat the Eagles.
Yeah, I know. People get mad. But you got to be honest. That's the most important thing.
Everyone called me crazy last year when I said the Lions would beat the Eagles, and then it happened.
Yeah, and I probably picked the Eagles to win that game too because I was so, like, after the third game against the Steelers, I was like, oh, man. I drank the Kool-Aid so bad. That's why I got so mad at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Because I really bought into it. This year, I got my head about me, I think.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts before we depart?
No. Fun. Love the show. I love doing this show. I can't wait till next week.
Hell yeah. And we will, at some point, we will do other things, and we'll try to figure things out. And, we'll also stream on your channel at some point. You're trying to figure out how to use this equipment. See, you're not as smart as I am with the technological savvy. Yeah.
No, I'm not the genius you are.
Yeah.
I'm the dumb dingbat in this group now.
Yeah, that's why you're King Dingbat.
Yeah, exactly. Give me I just need a throne. King Dingbat throne.
I don't know. It's between you and Doug Pederson for the throne.
I will Corleone him if he tries to take my throne. I don't play Doug Pederson. I will Corleone him.
All right, Doug Corleone every Saturday.
Every Saturday, new episode.
Every Saturday, exclusively on the 2500.
That's right.
Yeah. Come here. You got 14-inch shoes? Dude, yeah. I love that stuff, dude.
Yeah. The hair combing thing is the best part of it.
You do the hair cut, dude. I told you, I showed my partner, Mike Owens, that. So Mike is who I originally started this show with. And he was laughing before the comb part. I'm like, you haven't even seen anything yet. And then when you did the comb, he couldn't stop.
I know.
You just laughed.
It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. It's funny, But now I can't. Like, I'm addicted to the skits. You know what I mean? My kids want to be a part of it, and I can't help it. And I know it's really stupid, but that's what's so funny about it. You know what I mean? It's dumb, but it's fun. It's fun to do.
Well, we're dingbats. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Better dingbats. Jake Elliott for president.
Jake Elliott president. Absolutely.
Screw Donald Trump. That's it. It's enough.
No, Jake Elliott, unless Donald Trump can kick a 65-yarder.
That's true.
But I don't think he can.
If you kick a 65-yarder, you can still be president.
Yeah, I don't think he can. But Jake Elliott, 61. I can't believe that was the longest kick in Eagles history. I thought Akers had a longer kick. I swear.
Akers hit one with the Niners. Remember? Did he tie the record or what?
Yeah, I thought he tied the record, but yeah,
it was like 62, and then And then, yeah, the record is Tony Franklin, 59 in 1979.
That's unbelievable. I swear I thought Akers had it like a 63-yarder.
And Franklin was the guy with the bare foot, right? So he
barefoot, yeah.
I
remember. Yeah, the old barefoot.
Barefooted.
Man, I wonder what his toes look like now. I mean, feet are already disgusting as it is. But now you're going to have some mangled toes. It's probably really disgusting. I just hate feet.
That's it. No more feet talk. Talk about toes and shit. All right, that's when we depart. That's it. When we get to that's when you know you've reached the end.
That's it.
Philly 500. I'm Adrian Fedke. Jake Elliott for president.